in logical instructions, we have like three operations, three logical instructions we have in this 8051 microcontroller. In assembly language, we have AND, OR, and XOR. We have one more NOT also. It will be called as complement. Not, will not, don't call it as NOT. Okay. AND gate in the symbol and its truth table should be familiar with you all. So AND gate in the symbol and the truth table is given. So for AND gate, if it is 0, 0, the output is 0. If it is 1, 1, the output is 1. Same for XOR gate, you will be knowing the truth table, and for XOR gate is important. If it is 0, 0, it is 0, and if it is 1, 1 also, it is 0. The output is 0. For other two combinations, that is 0, 1 and 1, 0, the output is 1. So this is the logic symbol and the truth table for AND gate, OR gate, and XOR gate. Next, this is important here. These are the mnemonics. Okay, what are the mnemonics? How we represent AND, OR, and XOR in 8051. So AND gate is written as ANL, OR gate is ORL, and XOR gate is XRL. Okay, ANL, ORL, and XRL, and the format is destination, comma, source. For all the three, destination, comma, source. So the mnemonic for AND gate is ANL, the mnemonic for OR gate is ORL, and the mnemonic for XOR gate is XRL. So the destination is equal to destination and source. Okay. So what will happen? What will be there in the destination register? After ANDing the destination and source, whatever the output, that will be stored in the destination register. And here all the logical instructions are all the byte sized operands. Okay, completely one byte will be taken, that is 8 bits together it will be taken and the operation will be done. So it has no effect on any of the flags. So the flag, whatever the flags we are seen in addition instructions, in arithmetic instructions, we had seen many flags like auxiliary carry flag, overflow flag. Okay, all that flags will not be affected by this logical instructions. So we'll go with the first example, that is AND gate. So there is one simple 2-line program here. We are moving a immediate, that is a constant 35 to register A. For register A, 35H is moved and it is ANDing. Okay, we are doing the AND operation of 35 with 0FH. Okay, we have to do this 35 with 0FH. So first we'll write this 35 here. 35 is a split, it is written in bits like 0, 0, 1, 1 and 5 is 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, and F is first one is all 0, then it is 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, this is written here. See, when we do the ANDing means 1 and 1. What is the 1, 1 idhar and what is the output of AND gate? It is 1. If it is 0, 1, the output is 0. If it is 1, 1, the output is 1. Okay, like this you have to do the ANDing operation of this to destination and source data. So if it is 1, 0, it is 0. If it is 0, 0, it is 0. You are not adding or you are not multiplying, nothing like that. You have to do AND. Depending on this truth table, you have to write 1, 1 means 1. If it is 0, 1 means 0. That is the AND operation. So the last answer is 0 and 5H. Fine. Similarly, do the OR operation. So if it is 0, 0, it is 0. If it is 1, 0 also, it is 1. Okay. If it is 0, 1, it is 1. So doing the OR operation of 0, 4H and 30H, the answer is 34H. Next XOR operation. The XOR operation I have not done here. You have to complete it. XOR operation, if it is 0, 0, what will be the answer? It is 0 only. 0, 0, it is 0. If it is 1, 0, it is 1. If it is 0, 1, it is 1. If it is 1, 1, again it is 0. Okay, accordingly, write the answer for this XOR operation, where AND is represented, or the mnemonic is ANL, and for OR it is ORL, and for XOR it is XRL. So these are the three logical operations. And for this XRL, there is one important concept in this XRL. Okay, this XOR instruction can be used to clear the contents of a register. See, if you want to clear any contents of a register, in accumulator you have contents and you want to clear that, you have to do XOR with itself. When you do XOR with the same content, then it will get 0. See, like XORing with itself clears the accumulator register. I will tell you one example here. Now assume in A we have 45H. Okay, and the source operand also is 45, or you want to clear. So if you write both these 45, if you split and write here, if you write here, okay, I have shown here, see here, this one, here I have written this 45H, this is 40100 and 5 is 0101. Same XORing with the same content, that is again 45 only, right? You just to do XOR of it. So 1 means 0, 0 means 0, 1 means 0. So all the output will be completely 0 here. Okay, it is completely 0. So the XOR operation can be used to clear the contents of the registers. Okay, so a simple program is written here. Write a program to test the port P1 whether it has a value of 45H. If it does, send 99H to port P2. Otherwise, it stays clear. Okay, we have to check whether we have a value of 45H in port P1. See, they are very simple programs to make you understand the concepts. What he has told, you check whether in the port P1 we have a value 45H. If you have a value 45H, what you have to do? You have to send 99H to P2. Okay, otherwise it stays clear. That is the program here. So first what we'll do, we'll start the program with org. Just they have cleared the port to P2. Okay, because we have to send 99H to P2 now, so they have cleared it. Next what they have done, move P1 comma hash FFH. See, this FFH is the concept which will be discussed later. We are sending P1 is of 8 bits. Okay, FF also is of 8 bits. We are sending this 8 bits to P1. That means all the bits will become 111 in port 1. This is done to make the P1 as an input port. Okay, at first whenever we start the system or and all, the P1 should be made as input port. To do that, we'll send this immediate data, that is FFH to P1, to make it as an input port. Okay, next what we'll do, they have told you to check whether the value 45H is there in P1. So put this 45H in a register R3. Okay, and send whatever is there in the P1 register. We don't know what we have in P1 register, so send it for register A. Okay, after sending for register A, XOR the contents of what? XOR the contents of register A and R3. Okay, you have to do the XORing of these two contents. If you get 0, okay, if you get 0, that means what? In P1 or in register A, the content is 45H. Okay, jump on no 0. Jump on no 0 means if it is not become 0. If it has not become 0, then it has to come to exit. If it is 0, that means the content is 45H only. So what we have to do, if it is 45, you have to send 99H to port P2. See, this jump on 0, we have not written any destination here. Exit we have written destination, but which 0 content you should check we have not written. The instruction itself, it is used only to check the contents of the accumulator. J and Z, jump on no 0 athava jump on 0, is used to check the contents of the accumulator. Okay, it will not check the contents of other registers. It will only check the contents of the accumulator. So here we have checked the contents of the accumulator. If it is not 0, it should come out. Okay, why it will come out? Because the content of the register is not 45. If it is 0 means you have to send 99H to port P2. This is one example just to check whether the content of the port P1 is 45H or no by using the XOR operation. Still in further we can see how we will use this AND and OR operation to mask the contents. Okay, some bits have to be masked. For that we will use this logical operations. Next, these are the addressing modes. Okay, this AND operation should be written in all the 4 addressing modes. We have to write the format for that. So ANL, A comma immediate data, that is one addressing mode, immediate addressing mode. Next we have register addressing mode, where registers can be used. RN we have written, R prefix N, So n can be take any values 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. Next we have direct addressing where the direct memory location will be written, and register indirect addressing where at the rate of R0. Okay, at the rate of symbol will be used for indirect addressing. Like this you can write for OR operation also, for XOR operation also. I have shown only for AND operation here. Okay, and one more operation, one more operator in logical is complement accumulator. Okay, complement, the symbol or the mnemonic is CPL. CPL is used to complement the data. So whatever that data you will give, if you give 1, it becomes 0. If you give 0, it will become 1. It will just complement it. So after complementing, if you add 1, it is nothing but 2's complement. A program is written here. Just I have sent 35H to accumulator. I have complemented it and I am adding 1 to that contents of the accumulator. So 35H is 0011, 5 is 0101. So when you complement it, 0 is 1, 0 is 1, the 1 will become 0. Add 1 to it, so the answer will be 2's complement. A simple program. Where a complement operator is used and the mnemonic for complement is CPL. Okay, ANL, ORL, then XRL and CPL. Okay, these are the 4 important logical operations for your 8051. Next we'll go with this rotate instructions. So we have simple rotate instructions like rotate right and rotate left. RR and RL are the 2 instructions. Then we have still more 2, that is rotate right through carry, rotate left through carry. These are the 2 instructions: rotate right, rotate left, rotate right through carry and rotate left through carry. So the format is for rotate right, RR you should write and A you should write. So whatever the contents of the accumulator, it will be rotated. Okay, only once it will rotate. If you want twice, you have to write 2 times. If you want thrice, you have to write 3 times. You can't write like A comma 3. It will go on rotating 3 times. That is not done in this assembly language. That you can do only in this C language. High level language you can do it. But in assembly language, how many times you have to rotate, that many times you have to write the rotate instruction. If it is for 5 times, you have to write 5 times. And here we have rotate. It is not like shifting. Shifting means the contents will be lost. Okay, shifting right, shift left, the contents will be lost. The LSB or MSB contents will be lost. But in rotate, it will, the LSB will come to the MSB. It will be rotating there. Contents will not be lost. Okay, that is the rotate instructions. See here one example we'll see. We have 36H. How we will split and write this 36H? 3 is 0011 and 6 is 0110. So when you rotate right, okay, when you rotate right, I will show you. See this 0, okay, this 0, this will just come to the this side. Okay, rotate right, like this it will come. Okay, and this 0 will go, so this 1 will come here and this 1 will come here, this 0 will come here, this 1 will come here. Getting it? So this 1 is here, this 0 is here, this 0 is here. So this 0 has shifted to right, rotate right, it will come this side. Getting it? So this is rotate right. So once if you rotate right, what the answer will become? The 36H will become 1BH. That is written here. Understood? Next what we'll do? And next, once again if you want to rotate. Okay. Once again if you want to rotate, next the content is what? This one, whatever at the, rotate right, it should move to the right side. This one should be should go for the MSB. This one LSB should go for MSB. Getting it? So what will happen? This one will go to the, it will come for this. Okay, it will come for LSB, will come for MSB. So this one will be shifted here, this 0 will be shifted here, this one will be shifted here, this one will be shifted here, this 0 is here, this 0 is here and this 0 is here. So this one from where we got, it was just it has come from this LSB. This LSB, it has come 1. In this way this rotate operation will work. So the answer will be 8DH. Understood? This is how the rotate operation will happen. This is rotate right. Now rotate left. You will see the rotate left. The content is 72H. So rotate left means to your left it should go. From MSB it should go back. Okay. The 72 is written as 0, 1, 1, 7 and 2. Split it and right. So first what will happen? This 0 will go back. Okay. This 0 will go back and this 1 will be shifted here. So this 0 will come at the end. So the MSB will become the LSB here for rotate left. The same thing again, once again, if you rotate this, the one in this MSB will be shifted back. So this one will be written here. I will just show you here. See, this one will come here. This one is here. This 0 is shifted here. It is rotated. Okay. At the end. Okay. So we are left with 1. This one will come back here. Okay, this is how the shifting happens. This is rotate left and this is the rotate right. Hope you understood. Both rotate, after rotate right and rotate left, we have one more other two, that is rotate right through carry. What is doing this? This will rotate through carry. It will go, it will depend upon the carry now. So the format will be like this. MSB and LSB will be there. Rotate right means this MSB should go to LSB and LSB should go to carry, and whatever the contents of the carry should go for MSB. Okay, it should come back for MSB. This is the format. In this way the rotation will happen. The LSB will first go for the carry flag, and whatever the content of the carry flag will come for MSB. So we have a content like 26H. Okay, 2 and 6 is written here, and assume that since we have written clear carry, carry is 0. So carry flag is 0. So this is the format, or this is the content before the operation. Before rotate right through carry. So this is the condition. So when we give rotate right through carry, what will happen? Whatever is there in the carry, it will come for MSB. Okay. And whatever is there in the LSB will go for carry. That is important here. Okay. So whatever is there in the carry, okay, whatever is there in the carry, that will come for MSB. It will come here. Okay, MSB. Next, whatever is there in the LSB, that will come for carry. And whatever this one, that will come for our LSB. In this way, it will be shifting. Getting it? 1 is shifted here, 1 is shifted here, and 0 is shifted here. This is the procedure that will be followed when we rotate through carry. So 3 times we are rotating it through carry. So 3 times the answer will be, at last you have to write. So there is one program like this in lab also, rotating right, okay, or rotating left through carry. You have to see what are the contents of the registers. Next, same thing, we have rotate left. Okay, here rotate left through the carry. The content is content 15. Okay, 15H. Okay, it is 15H here. So first I'll clear that 15H. Okay, 15H is the content here. So 1 and 5 is written. Then it is rotated left. So whenever you rotate left, what will happen? That is rotating through carry. Okay. So here the format is shown here. This is the format shown. See, listen carefully here. What they have done here, whatever is in the MSB, that will go for carry. Then that carry will come for LSB. Okay. So whatever is there in the MSB, what we have in MSB, we have 0. That 0 will go for carry. Okay. And whatever is there in the, then it will be shifting. So 15H andre, this 0, the first 0 will go, and this 0 will come here, this 0 will come here, this 1 is come here, this 0 is here, this 1 is here, this 0 is here, this 1 is here. So in carry, what was there na? That was that 0. So what was there in the carry? That will come for LSB. Getting it? This 0 will come back. I'm unable to erase this. This is about rotating left through carry. Okay, rotating left through carry, the contents of the carry will go back to the LSB. So whatever is there in the carry, that will go back to LSB, and MSB content will be put in the carry. So some examples have given. Go through the examples, we will follow. Some 2 examples are solved here. Next, the single bit operation with carry flag I had told before also. So you know all this. That is clear carry, set bit carry, complement. Okay, jump on no zero, jump on carry, jump on no carry, ANL, that is shown here. So we have some unconditional jumps that also was told. We have long jump and short jump here. So long jump, the mnemonic is LJMP, and short jump it is SJMP. Long jump is a 3-byte instruction and short jump is a 2-byte instruction. Okay, in 3-byte, 3-byte, okay, 1 byte means 8 bits, that you have to remember. So first byte is used for operational code, and second and third byte represent 16-bit addresses of target location. Okay, it is 16-bit. So F represents 1 1 1 1 1, like that 16, 4 4s are 16 here. Short jump is a 2-byte instruction. Here first byte is for opcode and second byte for address of target location. These are the 2 unconditional jumps. Okay, it is important. No conditions are satisfied here to make the move of the control. Okay, to jump, conditions are not satisfied. It is an unconditional jump. In call instructions also we have 2 like that: long call and absolute call. Okay, long call is long. It is a 3-byte instruction. Again first byte is used for opcode and second and third byte represent 16-byte address for the target of the subroutine location. Where you have called the program, there it will come. So the target address must be within 64 kilobytes. Okay, next this A call. A call is also, it is a 2-byte instruction, that is absolute call. First byte for opcode, second byte for address of target subroutine location. Target address must be 2 kilobytes. And one more instruction is, after finishing the execution of subroutine instruction, return, RET. RET, return instruction, is used to transfer the control back to the main program. And this is telling about one instruction, RET. So we have seen what is a short jump, a long jump, A call, absolute call. Okay, absolute call and long call, and we have seen what is the return instruction. Okay, so these are the some of the logical and rotate instructions. Here one important program I will tell you, very important. Many times they have asked this. Write a program to load the accumulator with 55H and complement the accumulator 700 times. Okay, you have to keep on complementing the content of the accumulator 700 times. That is what they are telling. See, 700 times means whatever registers which we are using now, they are of 8 bits. If they are of 8 bits, the maximum we can repeat is 0 to 255. That is 256 times only we can do a loop. Above than 256 it will not take, because it is illegal. There is no storage capacity only. It can store only 8 bit. If you want maximum number of times, or if they give like this 700 times, then you have to make a nested loop. In loop, inside loop you have to do, there should be a nested loop. How that is done, that is shown here. They can give any number of times. They have given 700, they may give 300, they may give 500. Accordingly you have to take the nested loop there. See, if the loop is to be executed more than 256 times, the nested loop should be used, because our register are of 8 bits. So you assume that they have given the content of the accumulator as 55H. So start the program with org. Okay, send this 55H to the accumulator. Okay, so what I have taken is, this 10 and 70 are the 2 numbers I have taken. By putting in a nested loop, this is 70 into 10 will become 700 times. Okay, in that way this it is done. This 70 and 10, multiplying this will give me this 70 into 10 is 700 times. Okay, see how this will run, that you should be very careful. First what I have sent this 10H to register R3. Next I am sending 70H to register R2. Okay, 70 times for that. Okay, next what we'll do, we'll complement it. So whatever is there in the 55H, no, that will be complemented. So 1 becomes 0, 0 becomes 1. Next, what the important instruction we have taken is here, decrement jump on no 0. Okay, what should be decremented here? R2. R2 should be decremented. So what we have in R2, we have 70. So then it becomes 69. After decrementing, you have to go back. Okay? Go back is the label. Okay, it is a loop. It is been shown here. That means again you have to complement it. Now 69, 68, 61, 66, like that it will be complemented and it will be sent back to the loop. Okay, how many times it will be complemented? It will be complemented 70 times. So once it is happened. After that, what we'll do? Then the decrement jump on no 0. You have to jump when it is not 0. After decrementing, then it will come for this R3.